welcome to this week's Friday Beers and Tools with Andy. This week we have another boutique beer to try. This one is called Mismatch Lager, Mismatch Brewery Lager. And oh, how cute. It's a 330ml can, so it doesn't quite work in my cooler. Stand by. Amazing what a bit of paper can do in the bottom of your cooler. Anyway, let's try out this beer. Happy Friday. Really nice traditional lager. Wow, that's really nice. What do they have to say about it? In today's fast-paced world, the art of patience has been lost. Ain't that the truth? The key to a great lager is time, and our method of step mashing, a prolonged lagering process, a beer that is gracefully smooth and refined. That I can attest to. As I said, very smooth and refined lager. An elegant and clean lager inspired by the great Hellas style beers of Germany. Yes, actually, there is reminiscent of German beers. Celebrating the famed Hallertau hops and their earthy, herbaceous tones and acclaimed aromatics. This low alpha hop variety creates a smooth and drinkable beer. Colour, aroma and palate, an elegant and clean lager inspired by the great Hellas style beers of Germany. Already said that. 4.5% alcohol. And interesting, comes in 375ml cans, yet I got a 330ml can. Make sure you get the right size can. It is a really easy drinking traditional lager. Very nice. Wow, I could throw down a few of those real easily. Very nice on a hot, wet season day up here in Northern Territory. It is changing. Weather's getting better. More content coming. That's really nice. What would I give that out of my spanner rating? I am a fan of lagers. That's a 5 out of 5 spanners for me. That's a terrific beer. Definitely. So, Mismatch Brewing Company from South Australia, you've done well. 5 out of 5. Alright, on to this week's tool, or tools in fact. As you can expect, I'm not allowed to go out and buy tools for every week's frybat. There are some that I've bought previously that I review for you. There are some that I might have bought thinking they would make good for reviews. Please don't tell Mrs. Gray. I'll have to use those knee pads again. And there are some that I genuinely need for some of the tasks that I do. As you can imagine, not being sponsored and not being given any of these tools, that can get quite expensive. I also understand and realise that not everyone has a lot of money to spend on tools. So I'm going to come back to a few of the basics, some of the things that make having a toolkit much better, and some of the, obviously I'm not talking about screwdrivers and pliers and things like that, although I may do some reviews of good quality versions. But there are a few tools that make your job handy. The first one I'm going to talk about is a pack that I picked up recently from one of our big tool shops in Darwin, and this is a magnetic parts tray, a telescopic magnetic pickup tool, and a telescopic mirror. Sorry about that light there, I'll just tilt that forward so that hopefully, there we go. And this whole set cost me a whole $10 in its blister pack and made in China-ness. I have to admit I am trying to buy less Chinese made things, but I tell you what, when it comes to basic crap like this, which enhances your toolkit very cheaply, for 10 bucks, this is awesome value. Now I've had a look online, and the closest thing I can find, I'll put a link up here to it, or a picture of it up here, is an eBay kit, and direct from China. Looks exactly the same, but not in this brand blister pack, of course. It probably comes separate. A whole $11.66 delivered from China. Now I'm amazed that they can do that, apart from the fact that, you know, okay, it might cost them a couple of bucks to make it, but I don't know about in America or Canada or New Zealand, but postage in Australia is ridiculously priced. And for items to come all the way from China and be included in a kit for $11.66 amazes me. Cheap and Chinese, yes. Good quality, well, it's not snap-on, but it's $10. $10 for 3 tools that are very useful in your kit. Magnetic tray, parts tray, very handy when you're working on vehicle, and especially if you're in a difficult position. You can put this on a metal surface, it sticks to it, and then the ferrous bolts that you remove, throw into it and don't move, don't fall out. Little mirror, very handy for getting into tight spots and actually being able to see what you do, and having the telescopic extensions also very handy. And the telescopic magnetic pickup, every mechanic, every home mechanic, every DIYer at some stage has dropped a bolt, a nut, a 10mm socket into the ether, and they are never found again. A magnetic telescopic pickup is awesome to add to your kit, and cheap. 10 bucks, do yourself a favour, go out and grab a set like this. Alright, on to our second tool. Now this is probably a little bit more specialised, but still very handy. I've never been very good at eyeballing sizes of bolts, nuts, things like that. I'm okay at it, but I won't say it's one of my skills. Recently I found this Toledo brand, which is an Australian brand. Obviously it's made in China because of the price, and it doesn't actually tell me anywhere where it's made, so therefore I'm assuming China. These alloy thread gauges, and I'll take them out of the packet so that you can see them. Wow, talk about well sealed. Alright, this particular set is a 4-piece set. The first gauge we're going to look at is actually for spark plugs. So spark plug diameter and thread pitch around the outside. Very handy tool. The next one we're going to look at is small USS thread sizes. So we've got number 5, number 6, number 8, number 10, number 12, quarter, 5/16 and 3/8. And then around the outside we have, this one's a blank, this one is 44 tooth per inch. I don't think I've ever seen that fine a thread before on anything I've done. And being alloy, I guess you have to look after these because those teeth are so tiny, don't think you're going to be able to pick up on it. They are so tiny that they will wear off really quickly. The next one is 40 TPI, so just about as much. 36 TPI, for those that don't know, TPI is teeth per inch, etc, etc. So that's the USS. Then we get to the large USS thread gauge, which looks like this. And around the outside it has 3/4, 5/8, 9/16, half, 7/16, 3/8, 5/16 and 1/4. Great for quick and easy identification of those sizes. And then of course you've got your more coarse thread pitch gauges around the outside. The smallest one here is 28 TPI and goes right up to 10 TPI, most coarse thread there. The last one, we get into Australian and the rest of the world. Hey America, catch up. Imperial is crap, or standard as you call it. Metric, so much easier. Tens, everything's tens. This is our metric gauge. All right, I've had enough of a go at you now. This one's great. 22 mil, 18 mil, 14 mil, 10 mil, 7 mil, 5 mil, 3 mil, and then around the outside we have from 0.45 mil TPI, which is very fine again, very fine, right up to 2.5 mil. Metric threads, teeth per inch, come in millimeters, so that's why this is a different rating to the others. TPI makes a lot of sense, but we don't work in inches in Australia, we work in metrics. So anyway, little four piece 4-gauge set by Toledo Tools, an Australian brand, more than likely made in China. This particular kit is only $16.90, and again, a really great addition to your toolbox and kit. Helps identifying thread pitch and thread diameter or bolt diameter really quickly and easily, and that's a great little addition to my kit. I will put a link to where you can buy these from for $16.90. There is postage involved in that, unless you spend $99 at Get Tools Direct, and then you get free postage in Australia. I'm sure there are others. I'll try and find some Amazon versions, and I'll put some links in the description as well. Alright, why am I trying to finish this beer before I finish this video? Well, a couple of weeks ago, hang on. A couple of weeks ago, hang on. A couple of weeks ago, I began to review Kaiju Crush beer. If you remember, when I opened it, there wasn't a lot of fizz. Paper towel, no longer needed. So, this can, undamaged, feels nice and pressurized. So let's give Kaiju Crush the benefit of the doubt. Oh, still not a lot of fizz. Anyway, happy Friday again. It must be a light fizz beer. The flavour's okay. Crikey. Here I was thinking that it was all down to the lack of pressurization in the can. There are much better tropical pale ales out there. Sorry, Kaiju. Look, it's drinkable. as one of my subscribers pointed out, there's no such thing as bad beer, there's just better beer. There is better beer than this. I'm sorry, I can't recommend Kaiju Crush. It's low on the fizz, so it's not trying to be solo here. That's an Australian reference. Sorry guys, overseas. No. That's a 1 spanner out of 5. It's beer. And I'm not going to waste the rest of this can like I had to do the last one, which I poured out because it was that flat. But it's a 1 out of 5 spanners. Sorry, Kaiju Crush. Nope, not for me. Alright, I better give you a beer review on these cheap and cheerful tools. Look, if you're at the tool store and you see these for $10, grab a set. It's $10. Value for money, excellent. That's a 5 out of 5 beers every day of the week. For functionality, there's not a lot can go wrong with them. Yes, some of the cheap Chinese telescopics can break eventually, but look, for the set of $10, when I've seen even just the parts tray for ridiculous money, you know, buying more name brands, $30, $40 just for a little piece of pressed stainless steel with a magnet in the bottom of them. That's ridiculous. $10, I can buy, you know, 3 or 4 sets of these for the cost of one parts tray, a name brand. This is the sort of stuff that you can not spend a lot of money on and get some handy stuff in your toolkit. So value for money, 5 out of 5 every day of the week. Functionality, let's go 5 out of 5 as well, because even if it lasts you 12 months using it every day, for $10 for the set, that's cheap. That's nothing. The Toledo gauges, value for money at $16.90. It's not bad. It's precision cut, precision machine to get the right TPI on the gauges. It does make your job easier. Do you need it starting out? No, you don't. But it's another one of those relatively cheap tools that's handy to have in your kit. So at $17 odd, value for money, look, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. Functionality, it's you don't need it in your kit, so I can't give it a 5. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Let me have a bit more Kaiju Crush. Let's go 4 out of 5 for functionality. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Do you need it in your kit? No, you don't. Is it handy to have in your kit? My oath it is. Almost all of the tap and die sets come with a little TPI gauge, which has various different little parts that have different TPIs to help you identify it. They're handy. This is probably handier because they're all on the one bit. Yeah, so let's go 4 out of 5 for functionality. Anyway, that's something a bit different this week. I am going to sort of try and look at a few more bargain tools to help people set up in their tool store or their toolkit. I'm really happy that people are enjoying the beer reviews, and so please like, share and subscribe, all the standard stuff. Please share the channel and to any of your mates who you think might get a kick out of it or might be interested in tool review or beer review or both, and hit me with some suggestions please in the comments. If you got any suggestions for me, put them in the comments. I love reading all your comments. I answer every single one of the comments, or I try to anyway. Not that I'm getting millions of them, but I try and answer all the comments, and give me your suggestions for anything that I might already have that you might want reviewed, or recommendations on things. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks very much for watching. See you next week.